Hello, welcome if you are new, welcome back if you are not. I am pleased to report that we got absolutely everything ready that we needed to for our plasterer. You can see our very stressful last minute dash in the previous video. And while our plasterer works his magic downstairs, I thought that now would be the perfect opportunity to finish the series of our loft conversion. This video will be a complete cost breakdown from start to finish on how much it cost us personally to do a loft conversion in 2021 and 2022 in East London. In this video, we'll be running through every single cost that we encountered, how we kept costs to a minimum, where we decided to splurge, and we will be linking a spreadsheet in the description below with everything we bought and where we bought it from if you right now are looking for materials or planning your own loft conversion. Now, this video is part 2. We have already released a video which discusses the planning, why we chose to do the type of loft conversion that we chose to do, building control, architects, structural engineers, and all of the costs involved from the very first day of the build up until when the shell was completed. So for this video, we will be going from the shell to the finish. I'll leave the video linked up above here as well as in the description below if you would like to take a look at that video first, or if you'd like to watch this video, see how much it cost in total, and then get some further breakdowns on beginning to shell. Now, I cannot take all the glory here. I had almost zero involvement in the purchasing of materials and the planning of this loft conversion. I basically chose paint colors and furniture. So to get the lowdown, all of the materials, where we bought it from, how we saved money, and all of that very, very juicy detail, we'd have to get Tom into the mix. So as I've already said, we do have a previous video detailing the cost of the plans, the cost of the shell, the cost of the builder's labour. So we'll start from there. That total cost was £20,594.
So that's basically for the shell. In this video, we're going to talk you through the remaining costs, so for the second and third fix.
So the builder leaves and we are left with literally an airtight or watertight shell. The windows were in, the joists were down, the chipboard was in the building but it wasn't yet laid, and then we got cracking, and that is where the costs of this video begin. And just a final disclaimer, we did do loads of it ourselves. It was a ton of work, but when you get to the end of this video and you see the full cost of this loft conversion, I'm sure you'll agree it was very well worth it.
Yeah, let's do it. So first up is the second fix, insulation. Again, throughout the process, it's completely important to follow building controls. I've linked down our building control requirements in the description below. I think they'll be really helpful. But in terms of the insulation, we spent a grand total of £406.94. What I did here to source a lot of the materials is look on Facebook Marketplace, buy from builders who overbought. So I got some really good prices on that. Again, this might not be for everyone, and you might just have to spend £50 a sheet from your local builders merchants.
Then, as part of the shell, you have the shell, but we didn't have the internal walls. So we had to build all of the walls to separate the dressing room from the bathroom to the bedroom. So to build all of the walls, we used 4x2 timbers, and then included in the cost of the walls is the plasterboard. Depending on the wall, you either need fireproof plasterboard or just regular plasterboard. And again, we picked up most of it from Facebook Marketplace, and when it was too far a drive or we really couldn't be bothered, we went around the corner and bought it from Wix. And the total cost of that was £434.75.
Next up is the doors. I was quite surprised how much the cost of all the doors came to, but again, when doing a loft conversion, you do actually have to upgrade your existing doors to fireproof doors.
That's on the floors below.
So in total, we had to upgrade 3 doors. So for our 2 bedrooms and the hallway door. And then obviously the doors up here had to be fireproof doors as well. So they're quite a lot more expensive than regular doors. Again, the only thing that doesn't need to be upgraded, or you don't need a fire door, is a bathroom door. So for the breakdown of the doors, we had door liners, doors, hinges, handles, paint, rollers, everything.
It also included the MDF doors that were built in the eaves.
So the grand total of money spent on this was £853.94. So next up is the electrics. Fortunately, we had a family friend who was able to help us with the electrics, so we didn't really spend too much money here. However, I know for a lot of you guys at home, this is not always an option. So from doing some research, you're looking at about £50 per socket. So for our loft conversion, you're looking at around £1,450 to do the electrics. But in terms of the materials for the electrics, we only spent £293. It got us 20 spotlights, it got us 8 plug sockets, a shaver socket. Again, in this cost, we had to upgrade our smoke alarms. They have to be interlinked on every single floor and battery powered to comply with building control.
Now, obviously, this just displays how much of that cost is labour, but again, it's electrics, and obviously it's integral that you get that right as to not set a fire in your house. So it's money very well spent. Just to add as well, we did spend a little bit extra on supplies because we decided to go for a chrome finish across the house. It's not that much more expensive. I know, you know, when developers or people who are flipping properties are doing it, they'll probably go with white because every penny counts. But for us, that minor increase in cost comes with a kind of much more classic and I think high-end finish.
Next up is plumbing. We did all this ourselves, so didn't have to spend any money on labour. So in terms of the materials, it came to a grand total of £364.38. We bought most of this from Toolstation or Screwfix. A bit of advice of when plumbing a house. A lot of the old school plumbers want to use copper throughout. That's obviously going to increase the cost massively. What we did was use PPE, so the plastic piping, all through the radiators and the taps, and a copper finish of when it was connecting into the radiators.
So anything you can see, we went for copper. Anything you couldn't see, we went for plastic. And that really helped save a lot of money.
Yeah, and I think it's the way to go, to be fair. I know there'll probably be some people out there that say copper to their die.
But we had to pick and choose where we spent our money. And copper that I couldn't see was not the one.
And yeah, plastic is so good these days. Like, there's a reason why it's so popular. It's kind of like Lego. You just literally just plug it in.
Okay, so we've done the plumbing and now into the actual bathroom. So for context, we have included all of this stuff that goes into our bathroom, our toilet, our sink, our shower, etc. But we haven't included furniture in the bedrooms because obviously that's down to personal taste and the costs can vary wildly. In terms of our bathroom, we're talking radiators, showers, toilets, sink, tiles. What else?
Paint, plaster,
all of it. And if you wanted to see our bathroom as well as where we bought everything, how much it cost and what we learned along the way, I will also link our bathroom tour video. But in terms of the cost, the whole bathroom came to £1,512.
Next up is bedroom 1. That's the main bedroom we're currently in. Again, this just is about radiators, carpets, paint, architraves, etc. We spent £514 on this.
And then bedroom 2, which we are using as a dressing room, we are talking carpets, radiators, skirting boards, the plaster, painting it, all of that sort of stuff. And that came to £324.48.
That's pretty cheap for a bedroom.
Very cheap.
Yeah. And then onto the most expensive part of all loft conversions, and that is labour. In a previous video, we spoke about how much we spent on our shell builder, and that was £11,000. And along the process, there was just some tasks I wasn't confident to undertake.
So of the tasks that we weren't comfortable doing, we ended up getting 4 different types of tradesmen. Number 1 was a plasterer, number 2 was a carpenter, number 3 was a carpet fitter, and number 4 was a tiler. So first up, our plasterer, the cost of him to do the entire loft, so basically the hallway when you hit the top step, and then all of these rooms, that cost £1,200.
Next up, we got a carpenter in. He firstly came in and fitted all our doors. That worked out about £50 per door. We then got him to do some architrave and skirting board work. And to be fair, we weren't too happy with him. His finish was really poor. So I ended up doing the skirting boards myself. Again, I would probably advise against architrave. I find architrave quite difficult to perfect. So the carpenter to fit the doors, architrave and skirting board came to a grand total of £600. It took him 3 days in total to do all this. After we weren't too pleased with the carpenter's work, we didn't feel very confident in getting him to do the banisters because again, this needs to be perfect. We want everything symmetrical and it to have a really nice finish. So I found a new carpenter who was fantastic and we spent £660 to get that installed. It took him about 3 days to do in total, but he was very precise with the job.
Then our tiler, we didn't love his work, we'll be honest, but he was here for 3 days and the full tiling job cost £580.
Next up is our carpet fitter. Him and his mate were fantastic. It took about 2 hours to install the carpets in our 2 bedrooms and the eaves. What they did was put the underlay down, carpet grip, and then finish with our carpet of choice. We sourced all the carpet ourselves. We found a better price, but again, he actually got quite a good price for the carpet. But again, his trade discount, which was, again, if we were going to get the carpet for the rest of the house, we would go through him. But we definitely did save on the underlay. So the cost for the labour of the carpet fitter was £120. Took him about 2 to 3 hours to fit. So for all the additional labour we went through, it came to a whopping £3,160, which doesn't actually seem too much.
No,
I thought it'd be more than that.
That of course doesn't exclude the £11,000 for the shell that was included in that original 20k figure.
So the cost that everyone wants to know now, how much did this loft conversion cost us in London? This is all the way from planning to structural engineers to laying the final bit of carpet.
And finally moving upstairs.
And that means adding 2 bedrooms and a bathroom to our London property. The grand total was £28,688.26.
Please let us know in the comments below what that price means to you. Was it way less than you expected? Did you think we'd be savvier with our money? I think both of us are incredibly happy with how little it cost. I completely understand that is not a small amount of money in any way, shape or form, but in the context of a loft conversion and also the potential value increase of adding 2 bedrooms and a bathroom, we are absolutely thrilled with the cost.
So just to put into perspective, an L-shaped dormer loft conversion, particularly in London, costs way over £60,000 to get done from start to finish. So we definitely have saved a lot of money by doing it a lot of ourselves. We did give up a lot of weekends and evenings to get it finished, but we can both say it was well worth it in the end to do.
Yeah, for context, when we first kicked off our research and started looking for builders back in February of 2021, the loft conversion quotes to completion were coming in at anything from £65,000 to £150,000.
I remember getting that quote through and was like, what?
Yeah, there was a moment we didn't think we would be doing this. So yes, we put in a lot of work, let's be honest. But it was very well worth it. And we can very happily say that this loft conversion, taking our house from a little 2-bed to a pretty reasonable sized 4-bed, has given us more space, more flexibility. We can now have an office downstairs that we're working from home, 3-4 days a week. The skylight and the south-facing garden, it's just a complete light trap, and it's very, very different to the traditional dark Victorian, which I think our downstairs floors definitely have a little bit of a touch of. So up here is absolutely brilliant. We love it. We love living up here. We've been up here for what, just over a month now, probably a bit longer.
Best sleep of my life. Blackout blinds, well insulated, it's perfect.
We love it. As I said, in the description below, you will have the first fix loft conversion cost if you wanted a further breakdown of the beginning part of this renovation. You will also have the bathroom tour and breakdown, and you will also have the full loft conversion tour, as well as where we bought all of our furniture, if that was of interest to you, because that's not been covered at all in this video. As always, I just want to say I'm well aware that we're discussing money and it is a bit of a touchy topic, but I just want to be very clear, when we kicked off on this loft conversion journey, we really struggled to find very clear and accurate breakdowns of how much stuff cost, and we well and truly went into things, I'd say, a little bit blind. We're obviously very blessed that Tom's dad is very skilled in building. He's built his own house, so when we got stuck or on things like plumbing, we had all the help that we needed, but I do appreciate not everyone has that. So I hope that this breakdown does help a little bit, give some more context and a little bit more knowledge to if you are thinking of doing a loft conversion. Thank you so much for watching. That is it for this week. While we do have the kind of brains of the loft conversion here, I think we can just finish on, if you did have one tip to give people to save money in a loft conversion, what would it be?
Shop around, never buy from the same store. It's obviously easier in the short term, just ordering it all from one merchant, but yeah, for timber, go to a timber yard. For insulation, do look on Facebook Marketplace, particularly for plasterboard as well. There's loads of people getting rid of plasterboard left over. They just want it gone from their house. But yeah, just look everywhere and you'll get the best price.
That's it. Thank you as always for watching. If you would like to follow along on the next steps, we've done the loft, we still have the second floor, and we've got the ground floor. The plaster is in at the moment, getting the lounge and dining room ready. We're then moving on to the kitchen. We've got a massive summer doing up the garden. So if you would like to follow along on the rest of the journey of us doing up our little terraced house in East London, please hit the subscribe button. We upload videos every single Wednesday. As always, I've hope this helped, and as always, I'll see you next Wednesday. Goodbye.
Thanks, guys.